Hi and welcome to the video. I'm here at the Al Mourjan Lounge in Hamid International Airport, operated by Qatar, and I'll shortly be taking a Qatar Airways flight from Doha over to Dublin on one of their 787-800 aircraft. This is only my second flight with Qatar, connected in on my first one, and I've been on a long layover here in Hamid International Airport. You can see the video for that flight by clicking on the link in the description below. But I really hope you enjoy the video. I'm looking forward to trying out another one of the business class products. I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks so much for watching. Let's go. Having just arrived from my 15.5-hour flight from LA, I was grateful for the chance to stretch my legs, although it's easy to underestimate the sheer size of this airport. Hamid International is probably best known for being Qatar Airways' home base, but it's also very well known for its iconic 23-foot high yellow teddy bear sculpture. It's an impressive terminal with the largest array of designer brands I've seen airside before, but I wasn't here to shop, and instead I had my sights set on Qatar's iconic business class lounge, the Al Mourjan.
Okay, thank you.
A lounge agent checks your boarding pass before you're allowed up the escalator to the lounge. Thankfully, my Avios redemption flight included lounge access, but be warned that Qatar offer some business light fares which don't provide lounge access. The reception to the lounge is large and airy and gives you your first hint at the scale of the lounge that you're about to enter. As you leave the reception area, the lounge opens up into a truly impressive space, the majority of which is located on a single level, the only exception being the main dining area, which is in the mezzanine to the right. The central space is dedicated to various seating areas with toilets and a smoking room connecting off it, and there's a large glazed area to the rear which connects through to the business centre, games room and an additional seating area. There are a number of these smaller, quiet rest areas dotted throughout the lounge as well. The lounge is truly massive, with high ceilings and an abundance of space that I can't picture ever looking busy or feeling crowded, although I'm sure it has had its moments. At the far end there is an informal dining space with its own buffet area, and to the side of this you will find the shower suites and quiet rooms that are provided along with more toilets. I made good use of the showers to freshen up during my 8-hour layover, and they were fantastic. Very modern and spotlessly clean. Feeling suitably refreshed, I decided to set off in search of some food, choosing to head back to the other end of the lounge to the mezzanine restaurant. The area below the mezzanine is home to an impressive water feature, which again speaks to the abundance of space in this lounge. There are a small selection of seats dotted around us, along with a coffee station. The main restaurant can be reached either via the impressive winding staircase or a small lift to the side. But before heading upstairs, I wanted to make use of the luggage storage facility provided to save me having to take my cabin bag everywhere. I think this is a fantastic service at any lounge, especially if you have a long layover, as it saves you having to constantly cart all of your stuff around the lounge with you. Outside of the luggage storage area, you'll find another array of quiet seating pods. Now it was time to head upstairs and see what was on offer in the main restaurant. The restaurant's a decent size and offers an impressive array of cold and hot food offerings from a number of staffed buffet stations. In addition to this, a full menu is available via the QR code provided on each of the tables. I opted for the beef tenderloin and washed this down with a glass of champagne. The beef was excellent and on par with the best that I've had in any restaurant before. After several hours relaxing in the lounge, it was finally time to head to the gate. Our flight today would be boarding from gate C85, which unfortunately turned out to be a bus gate. As I was approaching the gate area, it was clear that boarding had been underway for some time, and there was a bit of a scrum at the desk. I was fortunate that one of the ground staff nearby noticed my business class ticket and ushered me to the front of the queue, so I was quickly on the bus. Unfortunately, this is where the ground experience was less than ideal. We sat for around a further 5 minutes after boarding before the bus set off on its circuitous route of the airport. It took around 15 minutes to get us to the remote stand at 5:09 where our aircraft was waiting. Boarding by the front steps, our chariot for tonight's flight would be this 7-year-old Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. Arriving at the door to the aircraft, my boarding pass was checked and I was then shown to my seat, which was 2A, one of 22 business class seats on this aircraft, all of which offered direct aisle access. While I got settled in, I was asked if I would care for a pre-flight drink and chose a glass of the rosé champagne. Having a quick look round the seats, they are quite exposed to the aisle and don't offer much in the way of privacy, but they are stylish and in good condition, with a large footwell under the screen and tray table. The pull-out tray table is located under the 17-inch touch IFE screen, and to the side there's a small shelf housing the seat controls, along with a headphone socket and USB charging port. To the rear of the seat is a larger open storage shelf with adjustable reading light, literature pouch and bottle holder. A stylish amenity pouch and travel hygiene kit were provided at each seat. At your side you'll find the IFE remote control, which is easy to access, and under the storage shelf at the side you'll find a reasonable sized storage bin, which I found kept the majority of my personal items during the flight. There is also a 3-pin UK style power socket. The cabin has a bright and open feel to it, but does feel too open. As with all 787 aircraft, the cabin benefits from large windows, each of which have dimming controls below them, but disappointingly there were no overhead air vents. My glass of champagne was delivered to me along with a set of white company pyjamas, the same type that had been given on my previous flight, and my order for dinner was confirmed. Before long, we pushed back from our stand and began a relatively short taxi over to runway 34 left. Our northwesterly routing this evening would take us initially over Iraq, passing over mainland Europe and the UK before descending down towards Dublin. While we taxied, I had a look at the in-flight entertainment system, which Qatar brand Oryx won. Similar to my previous flight on the 777, this proved to be very responsive and had an incredible array of entertainment options available to suit all tastes, including some episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which I decided to rewatch. Wi-Fi is available on board, but I felt it's extremely poor value, with the ultimate package offering only 200 megabytes of data for $20. This is twice the price of the full flight package that was offered on my previous flight from LA. If you're enjoying the video, please consider leaving me a like and hit the subscribe button to be notified when new videos are released. As we made our initial climb, we were treated to some great views of the lights of Doha spread out below us. As soon as we were in the air, service began with a bowl of warm nuts and choice of drink. And although there was only an express menu in tonight's flight, the service was no less impeccable. I had used the pre-order self-service for flights departing from Doha to order the katsu chicken burger, which was delicious, and followed this up with a chocolate tart and a glass of Baileys. Once again, presentation and quality for these simple dishes was really good. A hot towel was provided after the meal, which I really appreciated. After dinner service was complete, I took the opportunity to check out the loo on board. This was fairly spacious and was kept spotless during the entire flight, and had the rare benefit of a window which reminded me very much of the old 747s. Diptyque branded amenities were provided, along with toothbrushes and razors for those who required them. I had a quick look around the cabin before returning to my seat, and noticed that the crew had set up a selection of snacks provided on the console at the rear of the business class cabin. I then settled down for a few hours sleep, waking for the breakfast service about 90 minutes before we were due to land. I wasn't massively hungry, so I just went for the continental option rather than anything cooked, and it was delicious. Final hot towel service was provided with about an hour of flight time left to go. Reflecting on this flight, which is only my second ever with Qatar, I had a few observations. On the downside, the remote bus gate certainly felt less premium than my previous flight from LA, and while the seat was comfortable, it paled in comparison to the Q suite. Also, Wi-Fi in these aircraft is still very poor value, and a 200 meg data cap is very low for a flight of over 7 hours. On the plus side, the Al Mourjan Lounge is a fantastic facility, and I would say that Qatar cater very well for their premium passengers at Doha. The service on board was fantastic and consistent with my previous experience. From being shown to my seat upon boarding, the personal introduction of the cabin crew and in-flight lead, the provision of pyjamas in business class, and the quality and presentation of the food all helped to elevate the service. With a very smooth touchdown runway 28 at Dublin, I was sorry that my journey with Qatar was coming to an end, but after nearly 30 hours of travelling, I was relieved that I was only one more short flight away from home. And with our arrival on stand, it was time to bid farewell to this fantastic crew. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave me a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel for more videos as they're released.